Hey guys, this video is going to be my Battle Pass prediction video for the bracket of TI. And disclaimer that's always required is that anybody who chooses to copy me in any sort of way, I hold myself zero responsibility for your predictions being correct or incorrect. Now let's go ahead and get into it.
Banana slam jam.
So we'll start with the upper bracket, EG versus Thunder Predator. I'm going to be very boring here and say that I do think Thunder Predator is going to make it 2-1, but EG is just looking too solid in the lanes. It feels like too stompy of a lane patch, and that's going to result in them winning. Ignore the Tundra predictions. I was testing the bracket and it won't let me take them back. For Secret, PSG, LGD. LGD started out the group stage really rough. They started, I believe, 2-4 and then finished on pretty much all wins. So I think they are pretty much the LGD that we know from every other tournament. So I will be picking them. I think they will 2-0 Secret. I think they're going to play a nice, clean series and win that one. OG versus Tundra. I really like the way Tundra's looked this tournament. I think this is just the perfect patch for 33 as an offlaner. Skeeter's kind of playing more of like enabler carries, like Luna for the Visage, for instance. They even play support Luna for the Visage. But I think if you're a summons offlaner player this patch, that's just too strong. That's just the heroes that are popular are all the summons heroes, and then Amar is like a Timbersaw Razor spammer. And they've been still picking Amar, all of his favorite heroes, despite them not really being meta. And I predicted Tundra, excuse me. I don't know why I swapped it to OG there. We got Aster versus Liquid. I mean, as a Liquid streamer, I am legally bound and required to pick Liquid here. But I actually do think Liquid's finally found their stride. I mean, this roster's just on paper is incredibly impressive despite the results this year. And even though Aster, I didn't really see much of their games, but it seems like every time I looked, they were just consistently at the top of the group or like in the top 4. So they had like a pretty consistent performance in the group stage. But, let's just call this bias and chop it up to that. I'm not going to get anything fancy here. Hokori versus Beast Coast. I really do think that Hokori, it's their year. I feel like it's their year. These guys, I predicted them to be the worst team in the tournament. And when I watched their games, they just had some flair, man. I don't know. I think they had some flair to their play. It was very flair-y is what I would call it. So we're going to go for Hokori in this one. It's a best of one, so it can go either way for these for sure. But I'm going with my gut and picking Hokori. Got Team Spirit versus Boom. Honestly, Boom 2-0'd EG and then convincingly won the tiebreakers. Had a really nice run to end the groups. And then Team Spirit was kind of the opposite. They looked almost guaranteed upper bracket, like third place pretty much throughout the whole thing, and then kind of dudded out at the end to be down here in the first place. I'm gonna go with my gut and say Boom, man. I think momentum means so much, and I think they've got it right now. I think they're the team with the most momentum out of any team in the entire tournament right now. Fnatic versus Gaming Gladiators. Honestly, this one's probably the one I have the least opinion on, one way or the other. Probably gonna go with Gaming. SCA as a region just hasn't looked too impressive throughout the course of the tournament, and I didn't see anything super special from Fnatic when I was watching them. RNG versus Entity. I originally picked Entity to win TI in my thing, just to be a little ballsy with a dark horse pick, but they've definitely looked shaky. RNG, I think, is only here because of COVID in the first place. Like, they were like 9-1 to start the groups and lost a bunch of games because of COVID. So I'm going to assume that RNG's like, they had 2 days to recover, figure their crap out. They're not going to lose this game. RNG's got this. So we'll go back up to the winners bracket. Let's see. EG versus PSG LGD. Honestly, I think the reason why LGD was losing games in the group stage, even the games they were winning, were games where they were getting kind of owned in the early game, and they were making them games somehow. Like, they'd be down by like 15 kills on LGD, and they would still win the game sometimes. And I think that LGD in general has looked relatively unpolished in like the first 10 minutes. And I think EG is just the perfect team to punish it. I think EG really is the perfect team to punish LGD. So I'm going to predict EG takes this one with absolutely no NA bias whatsoever. But based on what happened in the group stage, I think EG will do it again. And even though LGD, I think, got better throughout the course of the tournament, I think their laning stage was consistently mediocre in comparison to everything else. LGD tends to draft for like the whole game plan, Their team fight execution, their map movements are insanely good, but I don't think that really matters if they don't get to play Dota. You know what I mean? They're so far behind that that stuff can't carry you. So I haven't predicted yet. This was once again kind of like an experimental to see if the bracket worked, and here we are with Tundra. Tundra versus Liquid. I think I'm gonna have to go against my own bias and say that Tundra is more convincing to me as a team right now than Liquid in terms of the matchup between the two teams. I feel like Tundra pretty much all year has had Liquid's number, and so this specific matchup, I'm going to let Liquid drop into the lower bracket. So I guess my experiment was foresight. Thunder versus Hikori. So we got the SA into SA matchup. I did not get to watch too much Thunder Predator. It's pretty cool that they were in the upper bracket in the first place. You never know, maybe they'll be over here. Lumiere is just the X factor, man. That guy's going to freaking carry. I got Hikori, man. Hikori is the team that surprised me the most in the entire group stage, and I'm down. Let's go, Hikori. Secret versus Boom, or Team Spirit. For the sake of my bracket not getting completely ruined by making this ballsy prediction and then Boom just lose, or and then, you know, Boom losing this game and then having Boom be here and have that be wrong as well, we're gonna go for Secret. That's we're hedging our bets here. You know, we don't want to lose like too many predictions in one. OG versus GG. I think Gaming Gladiators is just a 8th through 12th team. Like, I think that's just what they are. I don't think they're any better than that. Aster versus RNG. I really just don't think RNG belongs down here. I think they're an upper bracket team, so I'm going to go with RNG here. I also think it's reasonably possible that Liquid drops down here. So I can't get this prediction right if Liquid drops down anyway. So, like, I think this is a really close series. Hedging bets, guys. Hedging bets. EG versus Tundra. Our first finalist. Our first finalist for TI 11. Is it possible for EG to get better than third place? Is it possible? It's RTZ's year, baby. Let's go. Let's go. EG, you're not getting third anymore. You get in there. Get in there, EG. You got this. I'm bleeding blue this year. I'm bleeding blue this year. This is the year that I copium it up a little bit with the viewers. Hikori versus Secret. You know, I think Secret's... You know, it's just like last year, you could go through all these predictions and all this stuff, and the only team that surprised us was Team Spirit. All the other top teams were exactly who you'd think it's going to be, and Puppy. Puppy's a top 6 kind of captain. That's just who he is. He's a top 6. I think SA teams have gotten way better in the last few years, and that's like netted them getting like 1 7th 8th. Like one of them being a 7th 8th team. Like usually it's Beast Coast, but this year it's my boys at Hikori, okay? My boys from Hikori. It's the story of Hikori getting 7th 8th. OG RNG. I'm just an RNG. I'm just an RNG fan. I really believe they are like a top 4, top 5 team at this tournament, and COVID just sucks. So we're really crossing our fingers that RNG just, they're all healthy now. They got their like 15 hours of sleep per day, and they're ready to go, okay? Liquid versus Secret. Run it back. Puppy versus Matu and Zai. Oh, this is going to be a spicy one when it guaranteed happens because there's absolutely no way any of my predictions could be incorrect. So the series that we are 100% sure is going to occur here, Liquid versus Secret, absolutely no way this isn't happening. We will go with... It's Matu's last TI. It's Matu's last TI, man. He's not getting 5th, 6th. There's just no way. There's no way Matu on his last TI is getting 5th, 6th. There's just no way. PSGD, LGD versus RNG. I feel like I'm just trying to be edgy if I don't pick LGD. I feel like I'm just trying to be edgy, and that's not happening. So we're going to make this short and sweet. I think the 2 best teams are right here. Let's just make it short and sweet. 2 best teams in the tournament are right here. Okay, that's my opinion. So I'm just going to do this. It kind of like defeats the purpose of all the other predictions because it doesn't matter who I weigh them against, but I think it is finally time for LGD to not choke, okay? It is finally time that LGD does not chuck it in the bucket. But they need to not come from the winner's bracket. That's the secret. They keep coming from the winner's bracket. They keep being dominant going into the finals. And we need them to not do that. Okay, we need them to not do that. My prediction, bracket for TI 11. Make sure we get a nice little screenshot or whatever. That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the little talk we had about each series. Good luck with your guys' predictions. Like, comment, subscribe to keep up with TI content. Or whatever. Bye-bye.